Hey guys, how are you doing? How's your mood? How did you celebrate New Year? How's your trading going? Blink and almost a whole month of 2024 has flown by. Wow, how time flies so quickly. Dear all, I'm glad to welcome you to the new video on the MaxBug channel. Today we'll review my trades for 1 week together, see how much was lost and how much was earned. In general, everything is as usual, that format you all have been waiting for, writing why there are no trade breakdowns, what's wrong. Our last review was about a month ago. We had the number 11257 there. If we go back to the diary, it was right here somewhere. As you can see, we have a lot of materials that still need to be reviewed, but nevertheless, today we will be reviewing trades from December 11th, 17. My trading has undergone significant changes recently, and now, upon reviewing these trades, I have come to realize the magnitude of the mistakes that were made. And all of these errors could have actually been prevented if I had simply observed someone else's analysis. I would have witnessed which situations are presently effective. In this analysis, I will attempt to provide you with something valuable, demonstrate what is effective, and discuss my errors in order for you to derive benefit from it also. Regarding the reviews, why there are so few of them, yes, because guys, it's just tiring to film the same type of content, this monotony. I want something new, something fresh. I am already planning to commence an offline business. I will inform you regarding it, and perhaps I will create videos concerning it. Well, because honestly, I am fatigued from analyzing trades. I trade in the same manner as I did before. If you want to see the analysis of my trades at all, here's what I'm trading at the moment. You can easily go to Telegram and see what I'm trading there. And at present, these formations are operational. Recall, these formations are currently operational. These formations are generating income at present. And most importantly, understand what these formations are and on which instruments they work. I won't go into detail about this, but if you're subscribed to Telegram, I think you'll find a lot of useful information there just by looking at the picture itself. MBEX Crypto, the link will be in the description. In short, the first trade on December 11th was executed with Bitcoin, a very disappointing trade. So what was the idea here? We have an active growth of the asset. Bitcoin has grown to almost $40,000 entering a major trading session. Resistance forming above, support forming below. We've approached support 6 times. See, once, twice, thrice, 4 times, 5 times, and now the 6th time. This level is a strong support zone. And as they say, the closer we get to the level, the higher the probability of breaking through it altogether. Also, we had 1 touch from the upper level, 2, 3, 4, and there was a 5th touch. But as you can see, after the failed breakthrough, we promptly rolled back down. This suggests that we lack the strength to go higher after all, and likely we will go lower after all. Once this particular tool starts to decline, I begin looking for a suitable point to enter and make my move in the market. We have a drop, a little pullback. After a small pullback, we start moving back towards the support zone. So here I click my first part, and my stop loss is set very close to the nearest high. So here the stop loss was around 0.1, 0.2%. Seems like a small one. I don't know why I shared the first part here. Before around 43,600 and the remains, I was already planning to hold off. This trade was supposed to bring in around $5,000 there. Honestly, even now I don't want to talk about how much it could have been. The volume in this deal was 500,000, yes, and it turns out that all our movement at the point in the haul was at 8%. Well, just do the math yourself. If 1% is 5,000 and 8, oh, I can't even calculate it if I don't want to. Set stop loss got triggered, no need to move stop, just had to sit and wait. Why I moved stop, I don't know. As you've understood, my trading changed. I aim to offer more value from this trade, specifically from the entry logic. This is what an active instrument growth looks like. Roughly, there are 5 waves, growth once, twice, 3 times. 3 waves of great growth. Next is global trading. From this trading, sooner or later, there will be a breakout either up or down. Here we have a resistance level, a support level, a resistance level. If we break back into the range, there is a high probability of a short breakout. Therefore, a false breakout could potentially indicate to us that there may be a favorable movement in the opposite direction. Not a fact, but nevertheless the logic was reasonable. So here are already minor pros and cons. The same, I don't even see the point in bothering with these trades. Subsequently, we have a couple of inconsequential trades in which there is a notable loss incurred on XRP, minus $6,325. This is an attempt to recover the loss. As you can see, our total loss was about 10%. But if we look at the 1 second chart, I don't know if it will load here or not. Yes, it loaded. We have a gap. The spill is already in the moment. If you look there, take this point, it was already at 3%. Yes, a little. I saw a turning point. Even on a 1 second chart, it's visible they started buying back. But as soon as I entered this position, after 5 seconds I closed it, already with a loss of -1%, volume normal, closed at -6, almost $1,500. Next, there was a comparable deal with Doge. The volume was approximately the same as I recall. There was also a spill. I entered this position quite early and similarly ended up with such an unpleasant loss. Looking at the 1 sec chart, it's also interesting, by the way, where I clicked at all. Here I clicked, as I see, a bit early, although on the second, well, it's still a bit unclear. Where was the main point here? Well, the main point probably somewhere right here. The main point for us was to go long. If we had clicked somewhere around here, let's say it opened us here, we would have made about 5% profit. Generally, I believe it's evident regarding this situation. With Doge, the key is to capture the final move. If you fold a few times pre-flop, no need to worry, eventually the market will rebound. Unless it's a scam or a complete moonshot, overall these are normal trades. So if there are some fundamental assets pouring into the market like Dogecoin, Solana, fundamental liquid Dogecoin, Solana, I guess that's the right way to say it, these high capitalization Solana, Dogecoin, XRP, they should rebound anyway. As you can see, Doge rebounded. Overall, you could have made about 5%. Our next trade is also with XRP, attempting a loss of $600. As you can see, we have the next Doge trade with a 5.3% profit, but we will show it later because it's probably the most interesting and we want to save it for later. So please make sure to watch the video until the end. Give it a like if you want more of this kind of content, because I am currently planning to open an offline business now. I probably desire to generate additional content on this subject because it is truly monotonous to sit and discuss these reviews. I'll post a photo for you in Telegram, provide some commentary there, and it won't take me much time, but it will be useful information for the person. And on YouTube, I want to do something creative, fresh, so that there's enthusiasm for all this stuff. Yet, if desired, don't forget the likes. In summary, we have small pros and cons. Next, inch sets, but this coin is messed up. Darn, I don't even know how to explain it. In summary, this coin has been growing actively lately, exactly during the time we are currently discussing, particularly on December 11th. Currently, unsure if chart will load, but overall I believe it's clear. So, active trend just began, she drew slopes, breaking out of them, and I think it's clear that if we could find an entry point here, it could be a big score, a lot of money. But overall, the main thing was to find the entry point. But it's such a coin that, darn it, you set a stop loss, it takes you out. No matter where you place your stop, it just takes it out and blows through. Wherever you put it, it will be taken out, then it will retrace and take it out again. Anyway, it's not that important. In general, I'm just stating the fact that such coins exist. And it's worth paying a little attention to history. Here, I also enter, the stop is set, it hits the stop precisely, and starts to reverse. Enter here, it goes back to your stop and turns around. In short, consider the nature of the coin's movement. Overall, when it comes to Inju, I practically recovered, although maybe even fully recovered, but I didn't take back that much. I was already in. I didn't put a stop here because I already understood that if I put a stop, it would just knock me back no matter where I put it. So I just sat there, observed, understood that if we go below that slope back there, everything needs to stop back as there are no more options. All the liquidity was taken out after the current local high. I chipped in, although it was worth just holding and watching how the green line stretches there, but back because there was already a minus of $600, $1,400, $600, $200. I just wanted to recover the loss and leave with a clear conscience to relax there. There's nothing much to explain about this trade, just that this coin didn't follow the trend, it just didn't want to, and that's it. So next we have some minor losses. Next we have a very cool deal on AVAX. This instrument has also been very actively growing recently. In my opinion, it is clearly evident in the chart. And the fascinating thing was that AVAX often got stuck, how do I put it, well, due with densities, thicknesses, and levels of viscosity. Additionally, we had some exceptionally impressive slants. I will not delve into the specifics, but once again, I can provide you with written information on Telegram. So for those who are interested, you can check it out there. But right now on YouTube, I simply can't tell a wide audience about it because if I do, everyone will start using it and it will stop working in return. Nevertheless, we are experiencing active growth of the tool, growth simply following the trend, and we also see that sometimes our dude gets stuck in high volume densities. I enter based on this volume, I fixate the HNS behind the local high, slowly scale out, then as soon as we start growing back, I add, we start growing, I add, and slowly scalp a little more in this corridor. In total, a good deal, though on a small volume, but still, a $1,600 profit was also very nice. Next are some insignificant losses, gains, we won't analyze them, we will analyze only the biggest ones. So here we have a series of losses, all related to Bitcoin. I can tell you right away that here I went crazy and I gave away a lot of Bitcoin in a month. Here we have a slope. I think it's clear why I went in. The slope isn't very pretty, but nevertheless, at that moment, that's where I was aiming. I thought that it would continue its movement, just looking at our minute charts, and overall it was moving so actively. I thought it would continue its movement, but Bitcoin didn't move and wouldn't move. Bitcoin doesn't move like altcoins, for example, like Ordi, but more on that later. But with Bitcoin, you definitely shouldn't even try to buy more from the dip. This attempt to re-enter is when you're already drawing a trend line at a different angle, trying to salvage the situation under some other pretext. In short, re-entering, setting a stop loss back, and it got hit back out. Similarly, this trade, in short, there's no point in looking at it. Ordi is a cool thing, those setups that worked all December and are still working all January 24th, 2023. You can check it out in more detail in Telegram because I can't explain it here directly. Obviously, we have these trend lines on Ordi, and it was breaking them well and rewriting highs. As for the global situation, I'm even sure that if you look here, the situation should be the same. If not, then probably not. But nevertheless, here's the slope, here's the exit, here's the local situation, the same, there's a high, there's a second high, a little slope. Here, the entry point could have been chosen better. Now, as I review my trades, I realized that I could have clicked here, set a stop loss there, and just closed out at the high, taking around 7, maybe 6+%, well, around 6, 7%. But nevertheless, I entered on the breakout, not directly on the incline, but after we broke out of the incline, retested, went back for purchases, and that's where I exited. Not fixing everything immediately, partially fixed after the local pullback, and the rest I fixed on the high update, all nicely. Why did I close out there? Because at that time, I was driving a car, somewhere around here I left, just set a stop loss on the retest of that level, and as we can see, the remainder was already taken out on the breakout, a cool trade plus 4,000. Next we have 1,600, 1,400 back to Bitcoin, back to the messed up inclines. Why did I even get into them? I don't understand, but Bitcoin doesn't move well away from the inclines. That's it. You just need to understand there's a tool with a good history away from the inclines, a tool that breaks the inclines well, and Bitcoin, a tool that doesn't really break anything properly and doesn't move away from the inclines, entered on the rebound, stop loss hit, got taken out. In short, obviously, here's an attempt to re-enter, an obvious loss, signed off, Ludic. Unfortunately, my Ludic formation doesn't work. It would have been great if it did. 1,000 sats are signed as Ludic, just opened on emotions. That's why it was signed like that. There's nothing Ludic here. Everything was done correctly in principle. We have this inclination. We also see that we had these highs. We see that these highs are resistance levels. We pierced them, took levels off them, and started to turn around after that. This instrument had a very strong growth, more than 3 waves of growth. Here we first establish this inclination, so to speak, gather people who still believe in long, place their stops behind the low, behind this low, and here we start selling back. During these sales, I further click diligently find the perfect entry point, but exit like badly, exit very early, should have exited somewhere around here, behind these levels of support and resistance. Here we have the price reaching this point, perfect, could have taken at least 3 times more, but still, it's a cool deal. Even if you look at it globally, here are the first, second, three waves of growth. In short, just look at what these trades were, draw conclusions, and you can work on the same because this is what works now. Somewhere you can catch the trend, and it's important to understand where to do it, while in other places you can enter on a breakout. So next we have a minor significant loss of 1000 bongs. It was really frustrating. Well, here's my mistake, because a similar situation with 1000 SAC, which we had, this 1000 SAC, only here the entry point is wrong. As you can see, we had a cut. After the cut, I patched it up here. Well, by cut I mean this tiny one here. Here I messed up. It seems to have started, but it hasn't reached loyalty yet. And here's the catch. You had to go in and search for a point somewhere here. As you can see, I have a profitable trade later on, but it completely offsets this loss that I experienced. Why am I just breaking even? Because here emotions got in the way a bit, and with emotions, you cannot reach the potential you initially calculated for yourself. The potential can stretch up to oversupply like here, and that's about 8 to 10%. Alright, here you go, 12%. I basically took pennies here just to make sure I didn't miss any details. My entry is back into the slope. Silly, I should have entered higher, because the stop loss in this situation, you understand, is incorrect. Nevertheless, the situation is similar to ads. Prolonged growth of the instrument. This is more than 3 waves of growth. Here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and even more. Nevertheless, there was a really good breakout here where you could enter and capture a nice fat potential and so on. We already have some pluses, not as significant, but overall storage is breaking out with interesting tools where you could just go high and it would simply give from high. If we had entered high here, it would have given. If we had entered high, it would have given. It's just the story of the tool. Here I also just go high. At the moment there was a little back and forth, but overall everything is okay, plus 2000. Additionally, the breakout is a positive development. So it's just a story of the tool. Next we have Bitcoin, and this is a very rare case when Bitcoin breaks through. Here I withdrew 0.3 in cash. You can see for yourself how much. I even documented this transaction. As you can see, I've been lazy to document my trades as the focus is already shifting to something else. Other things have become more interesting. Yes, I trade simultaneously. Spending time on recording trades there right now, well, just don't feel like it at all. I think it's all clear here. Just align the spoon at 41670, close the little on the take profits, and let the rest ride. Overall, extremely light, incredibly tasty, absolutely beautiful deal overall. Now let's take a look at Doge, that deal I saved specifically for you right at the beginning. I made 5.3% on this trade, which is a little over 30 in money. Well, as I said, sooner or later the instrument should bounce back. The key is to find that point. Instruments can drop by 10%, like in this case there by 12%, or even by 40-50%. So you do not have knowledge of when it will fully unfold there, but nonetheless there exist prerequisites for a turnaround. When summarizing this week, what did I actually trade? I traded slopes. I traded both from slopes. The examples from the Horde were very good. It was cool and enjoyable. I traded breakouts, shorting inclines. Those are the very instruments that have risen actively, and also traded gaps. The primary profit was generated by the spill. If it had not been for that spill, then yes, I would have remained there with a loss or close to zero. In total, for the week of December 11th, 17, we have a profit of 21,681. The volume amounted to 26 million, and the commission was 11,900. To get 20% plus back from commission, find links in description. Pay 20% less to exchange for savings, details in description. I am providing a return of 20% plus just to my balance, so at least 2.5 units came back to me. This can be done via the links in the description. Without them, you'll give more to the exchanges. It's your decision how to choose. In brief, if you desire additional breakdowns, ensure to like, subscribe, hit the bell, all that stuff. Well, I guess I'll be moving towards new content to make it more interesting to watch. Well, because these reviews have become a bit boring, sitting there showing what you're trading. The only thing I can say is in Telegram, guys, you can subscribe and follow what I trade and how I trade there. Thanks to just a single screenshot, you can already grasp a lot. For example, the auction coin, it's like you see, well, obviously. So make sure to subscribe, don't miss out on any updates, and stay tuned for more exciting content that will be coming your way soon. Wishing all individuals good luck, happiness, peace, love, and kindness in the upcoming year. And stay tuned for some new interesting content. Good luck to all. Bye for now.